the first episode. So I'm driving back home. I just dropped Isaiah off right now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going around just because you're presuming. And I just wanted to talk about this stuff. Like, if you guys watched my New Year updates and goals and whatever, I hope the sun is not too bothering. I did say I want to have like a Jasmine corner, Jasmine space, whatever. Haven't decided on the name. But anywho, this one is going to be like on marriage and money. And for me, I don't really talk about my marriage, if that makes sense, because whatever happens in your marriage, I feel like it should stay between the two of you guys and not everyone else. But I feel like I'm at an age or a time in my life where I want to help other young women out there, because I just feel like, yeah, I just want to share. How about that? So when it comes to the whole money thing, so back in high school, in our senior year, we had a teacher who said the number one thing that causes divorce is money, money, money. So with me and Justin, it's not that we have money issues, it's that Justin is the type of person where he always wants more money. He's always trying to make more money. And for me, like, of course, if you guys already know, like, I'm trying to grow my business and stuff like that and be a successful entrepreneur, but I feel like your relationship should come before money. And what I mean by that is pretty much we hit 1 year, the sun is bright, y'all. We hit 1 year of living in Virginia last year, 2018, in November. And I feel like, I was like, looking back, I was like, we have done absolutely nothing to explore Virginia area. I mean, we've been to DC, and of course I've been to New York a couple times, but as far as exploring Virginia, like where we live, we do nothing. It's like we wake up to go to work, to come home, to go to sleep. On the weekends, we sleep and repeat. Especially now that I didn't know those lights were coming in. Especially now that we have Julius, it's like we definitely don't do anything. And it's like we're not struggling for money, but Justin is the type of person where he like saves. And the thing is, he's a good like financial provider. But for me, it's like the way I grew up is like life isn't all about money. And we had this talk like the other day, and I don't think he like fully understands it. It's to the point where it's like, I'm like, I feel like our relationship is better when we are like in two different places. Not because we're able to like miss each other, but Justin is more of a homebody where he likes to sit and play his video games. And like, I like staying home, don't get me wrong, like I love being a homebody, but it comes to a point where it's like I'm at work more than 40 plus hours per week on Saturday and Sunday. Not even Sunday, like Saturday, like I want to do something, like even if it's like go to the mall and walk around, even though I'm not really into going to the mall and walking around, because I feel like there's too many high schoolers who do that and go there, so I get irritated from that. But it's like on his mind is always just money, money, money. And it's like I'm telling him, like, if you just keep thinking about money, 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 then the years of your life passes away. And then on top of that, it's like which I understand, because if you guys don't know, this is the first video you're ever seeing. He is in the military, and if you know people in the military, or if you're a military spouse yourself, you do know we're going in the tunnel, so the lighting might change. You do know that the military pretty much owns them. That's how I see it. And it's like he has to wake up to then get off when they say get off, and then he's been trying to get napped, which is pretty much pick up rank. So he's been doing like extra stuff, and it's just like me and Julius have been put on the back burner. And for me, it's like I understand, because when we had our conversation, he was like, even if we're together or if we're not together, it's like he's like, Justin has never done me wrong when it comes to money. Let's say that. And so he's like, even if we're together or if we're not, oh my God, really? You're not even going the speed limit. Even if we're together or if we're not together, I want to make sure that you're set for life and Julius is set for life. which I understand, but at the same time, it's like, you don't want to miss the years or the months of Julius because you got to do so much work of putting in, which, like I said, his job is not a 9 to 5. He was in the military, so he doesn't really have a choice of, like, as far as, you know, with his leave and stuff. Like, when I tell you it's legit, like, these people, like, the military owns people. He showed me one of his leave papers, and that was just to get off early. That wasn't even to take leave, and how far it has to go up just to get approved. That's just to go to Julius' appointment. And on the paper is like, how are you traveling? Like, by car, by bus, by train, by plane. Like, that's how detailed their leave papers are. And so, like, I'm like, I want him to pick up rank, but it's like you need to be there for us. Like I feel like on Saturdays, more like Fridays and Saturdays, when I get off of work. So like I said, if you watch my video, I'll link it up below. I've been trying to write on my lunch break because by Friday I'm so exhausted and so tired, and on Saturday the same thing. Like, I literally sleep all day. Like, right now I just dropped my brother off, so I'm probably repeating myself, but right now I'm so tired. Like, my eyes hurt and they burn because I'm so exhausted, because I'm the only one who's like pretty much getting up with Julius throughout the night, and I'm going to work myself, so it's like I'm the only one waking up, feeding him, and doing all the work because Justin's too tired, or he can't hear him screaming at the top of his lungs. And I'm telling him, like, I don't know how much longer I can do this, because at the end of the day, I'm still human. And that's the same thing that I say about when I'm working and when I'm at my job, before I decide if I'm gonna quit a job, is I'm still human. Like, my body is not a robot. I drink a coffee here and there, or I'll drink my black tea. I mostly drink tea, but that's not enough. And I don't drink Red Bull. I don't drink Monsters. Like, I refuse to put any of that stuff in my body because that stuff is bad for you. So it's like, my patience is running short, because it's like I'm pretty much doing everything on my own. Like, I'm not getting a break. It's like I'm with Julius 7 days a week, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like, I love my child and everything, but at the end of the day, when he sleeps, I have to sleep. And if he's only taking a 2-hour nap, I'm only getting a 2-hour nap. If he's sleeping for 4 hours, then I'm only sleeping for 4 hours. And then at the middle of the night, like, I have to get up on a weekday at 3 a.m. to feed him, to make sure that he's good by the time he gets to daycare. So if I'm going to bed at like 11 o'clock at night, which is most nights, then I'm exhausted by Friday. And I'm telling Justin that, and he's like, well, I'm trying to pick a break. And it's like, I'm just we had a talk, and honestly, I'm just letting it all sink into him, because it's like I need help, but at the same time, I don't need help, if that makes sense. Like, I need a break on the weekends, but I don't need a break. It's like, if he was there to help me more, then we would be good. But it's pretty much like I'm doing everything, and I'm to the point where I'm exhausted. Like, I can't keep going on for another, however, we're supposed to be out here for 3 years. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna survive. I probably won't even last 6 months, and that's with me trying to keep up with my writing, trying to keep up with my YouTube channel and stuff like that, because then all I'm gonna want to do is sleep, because that's how tired I am. Like, this eye right here, specifically my left eye, is like so sore and throbbing because I'm that tired. And it's like, it's a lot. This feels like a ramble jumble video, but I have no clue why you're writing me, but I will slow down. Okay, cut off y'all. So he's more money driven than he is family driven. Yeah, that makes more sense. And I'm like, you gotta know how to separate the two, and that's always the hardest thing, especially for these military people. They don't know how to celebrate. See, look, I'm tired, y'all. They don't know how to separate.
In 1 mile, exit right to exit 276, US 460, Granby Street, State Route 165, Little Creek Road. Then stay to the left.
So they don't know how to separate family and work, and that's what I told him. He doesn't know how to separate it, because Like, and I told him, I was like, I'm not like, I'm not about to do this. Like, I will go back home to California where I will have a support system, where I will have help, because I can't do this where I'm doing all the work 7 days a week, and I'm at work and dealing with people in customer service too, and you're the only one who's getting sleep. Like, mind you, yes, he has duty and he has late stay and all that other stuff, blah blah blah, but at the end of the day,
then stay to the left to exit 276, US 460, Granby Street, State Route 165, Little Creek Road. Stay to the left to exit 276, US 460, Granby Street, State Route 165, Little Creek Road.
I didn't lay down and have a baby by myself, and that's what I tell him all the time. This is your child too. You need to help with your child. And so that's where we are now. But for couples out there, like, we're going on 7 years of marriage this year, and so with Justin in Virginia, he just doesn't like Virginia. Like, he hasn't been happy since we got to Virginia. So it's not on me personally of why he has shut down. It's the simple fact that he doesn't like Virginia. He doesn't like his job, or his clinic that he works at, which is completely understandable. Like, I told him, like, I understand, like, I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, he has to separate the two.
In half a mile,
hungry. Oh my God,
turn right on Warren
on?
Street.
But if you're like coming home and still thinking about work, and we try to have a simple conversation or we talk, and it's like you get upset about it, and it's like you can't do that. Like, even when people are know how long we've been married, and they know he's in the military, they always say, oh, that's a long time for young people, especially with him being in the military. And I'm like, yeah, there's been times where I'm like, bruh, I'm out, deuces, like, I'm leaving you. It's like, yeah, there's been times like that. Everyone has their ups and down rocky moments and stuff like that, but it's like, yeah, I'm just tired. That's all I can say is I'm tired. We're not struggling financially. It's just, he's just all about the money, and I'm more about family, and I'm tired. But I'm about to go home, lay in bed, and go to sleep. I was up till like 4 o'clock this morning. I twisted my hair, and then, if you can see it, I twisted it, and then I don't know, I'm just tired. I'm about to go to McDonald's so I can get like a sausage biscuit or something. Then, like, all about BAH and stuff. So when we did move to, and I think that was another thing that made him like become a Debbie Downer, California, and that's even with my pay too. I dropped like a lot of dollars moving out here for my job, like in total. Hold on. So as I was saying, when we moved here, we both lost a good amount of money, because between my job and his job, because Virginia is cheaper to live in, and it's also more depressing. The area we live in is depressing. So that was another thing when he fell into like his depression. he gets depressed over money, guys. It's so crazy. It's actually been a whole year since he's been in this little funk thing, and for the simple fact that his bosses or his job or whatever is pretty much like, well, that's why you're not picking up rank, or that's why you're not getting mapped. And this all happened like 2 days after Julius was born, and them saying like, oh, because they feel some type of way because he didn't tell them either about the pregnancy, or, and I'm like, it's just all childish play at the end of the day. And that's another reason why I don't want to work for people, because at the end of the day, yes, your bosses are supposed to know better, and they're supposed to be like your bosses because they're a boss for a reason. But the childishness, it's like, I don't have time for that. The mind games, I don't have time for that. Like, I've never been the type to be all for mind games and the childish games, no arguing and stuff like that. Like, I will shut down whatever. When I did have the surgery previously and I was in DC, I had my in-laws helping me, and they were a tremendous help. But when I came home, it's like, Justin does not help. Like, he helps here and there, or he wants me to tell him what he needs to do, and I'm like, I shouldn't have to tell you what you need to do. Yeah, this is your first child and all, but at the same time, after I've told you plenty of times, you still don't know what you're doing, or you'll wait for me to ask you. Like, I shouldn't have to ask you to help with your own child. So I'm home now. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that. Being a military spouse is harder. I don't know how I guess I can't really say I don't know how it is to be a regular spouse. But it is hard with the moving and the jobs and the deployment and trying to build your relationship, and that's another thing why I didn't want to have children for the longest time, because it's like pretty much what's going on now. I didn't want to have to be doing it by myself, but we shall see what happens. Thanks for, if you lasted this long, thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me vent. I don't know if I really gave advice, but this is more like venting, giving you the real of my life, because this is going on for like a whole year where I'm like tired, y'all. But let me go ahead, go in the house, take my child in the house, eat my sausage egg McMuffin, and go to sleep because your girl is tired.
Oh, baby, that's why I just do 3